It's number 2 on Grunge Week, sent in by Vic. So thank you to Vic.
Yep.
We've been getting our grunge on. This is Radiohead Creep, which, I never thought of as grunge, but now that I think about it, yeah, that chorus goes pretty grungy.
Yeah. I never thought of this song as grunge either. I never really thought of Radiohead as grunge.
Right. Yeah, but this is Radiohead's first album, so the early 90s, grunge was just popping off. And
Do you approve putting it under the grunge label? Do we need like a review of this?
I think it's fine.
All right.
I just, this is such a classic song.
I know.
That you don't really put it in a genre. But yeah, I guess if you had to put it, it's kind of grunge. The chorus.
Well, what's funny too is I feel like when a song is this kind of like classic or timeless, it just is.
Mm-hmm.
It's you forget you can forget that it even belongs in a genre because it's like, oh, it's Creep by Radiohead. Everyone knows that song.
Yeah, it's very singular,
Yeah.
And Radiohead became something so much more than a genre afterwards. So I think that's why we also don't connect it there. But anyway, let's get into it.
When you were before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Whatever makes you happy.
Oh man, that is just.
It's the perfect crescendo, Joe.
It really is.
It goes all the way.
I know. And that guitar is just he is just
jargon.
ripping. All right, I mean that is so
Jargon.
it's cool because the song is so calm
Yeah.
and it's so just kind of whispering along. And then just that first
It's so jarring.
yeah, just
But in such a satisfying
yeah.
way,
Oh yeah. Where you're just gonna lose it. It goes from you just sitting there like whispering so quietly to just about to snap. Maybe being treated like a creep. And you just sitting burning in your room, and then
Yeah.
eventually you lose it and start screaming.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
no, I was thinking the guitar just it's just
tremolo.
It's just
it's
it's just revving up the engine and then but it's funny too because because of his voice, he does rough it up a little bit, but he doesn't rough it like he has such a soft voice, which kind of makes it more epic rather than like rock. It's less heavy, but it's almost like I don't know. It's more beautiful, I guess I would say. It has like a beauty to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a very sincere depth to his voice that is very beautiful. And it's unique in a way. But you want to know something funny is I was reading old like reviews about this song particularly.
Yeah.
And at the time, what was it, 1993 when this song came out or something? People... the closest thing they could compare his voice to was Bono.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
Which I would never put that together because I wasn't around when this song was released. Yeah. But in the world of in the music world at this time, U2 was huge.
Yeah, of course.
And Radiohead had just released their first stuff, and so yeah, they can because. When you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, it's kind of...
Especially once he starts hitting those long, sustained notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But so I read that a few years ago. I was like, oh, shit, they're kind of right. It is a little similar, but I would never put that together.
Yeah.
Because I learned about Radiohead in retrospect. Because, I started listening to Radiohead till, the early 2000s.
Mike, and you too.
Yeah, yeah. So, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. There's so much... There's so much that can happen in a moment in time, and then it be so, you would be really difficult to connect those dots, years later if you weren't around for these moments. Is what I thought was kind of cool. All right, let's keep it.
Whatever you want, you're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
That piano, Joe.
I know it.
Just a gentle. Oh, his voice is truly beautiful. These shots, this lighting on this man's face,
literally just the front top of his face.
Tom York.
Tom York. I believe that's what he's called.
That's what they call him. Yeah.
And he's got his cheekbones are shadowed. It's intense.
It's lovely.
But you know what this song reminds me. Not because the songs sound similar, but they kind of feel like they're kind of strange for the time period that they came out in. Nothing else. I mean, this may be you could call this grunge, but I don't know any other song like this from the early 90s.
I don't know. It's definitely tonally similar.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a special song. It's hard to imagine that it was just a song from the 90s,
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it feels like it's so much bigger than I don't know. The song "Creep" is its own life separate from Radiohead.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't know. For some reason, it makes me think of I don't know why. So anyone can criticize this, but it just makes me think of the song "Maps" by the AAS too. Just because they're just these kind of quiet into these epic songs, and they don't really They created such a. They're such big songs in their own right, like you said.
Yeah.
And other songs at that time just doesn't feel like they're such. They're songs that are such journeys too at the same time. I don't know. For some reason, I connect those two songs in my head as these kind of indie, awesome songs from a period of time that just seems like it just kind of slipped through at a certain time without it even being really considered part of that time.
Well, they're very they're timeless.
That too.
Timeless songs. It's kind of irrelevant when they came out. People would just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, but it's funny. Okay, so then thinking of a song like this coming out, and when you brought up like someone discussing, like it was a review of the song when it came out, was what it was.
Yeah.
The idea of a song like this coming out is just, now looking back in retrospect, is just really funny because its journey of being released, and I'm sure plenty of people being like, the song sucks, and not liking it and just not understanding it, and then it probably being really popular, and then it finding a second life in icon and like legendary status repeatedly over time, and then every like 14-year-old that hears Creep for the first time is just like, oh, the greatest song ever,
exactly.
And it just gets repeatedly just brought back for another round of new ears.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, because it's timeless, these are the songs that just continually come back, and they create a completely different reality about the song, probably so much further from where Radiohead would have imagined it, or the first people who actually liked the song would have imagined it.
Yeah.
That's what I find so interesting.
Yeah, because as the song lives on, new generations are born. The song is brand new to the younger generations that are hearing it for the first time.
Yes.
So it effectively has an entire new life.
And
because their lives are different due to, technology, whatever, just time. But the song is the same. But it's pretty trippy, huh?
And then, but it takes a special song to be put in that timeless legendary status where it can feel fresh to every new ear that hears it.
Right.
As opposed to, there's a lot of music that when a new ear hears it, it's just like, oh, that's just some like,
that's old. That's
some like 80s song or some like 90s song, Yeah. And like they can still be good and stuff like that, but there are definitely songs that are from a time and they were popular at that time. And then they're mostly
work for a different time.
they're mostly just remembered in nostalgia rather than timelessness.
Right.
And that's just
like there probably wasn't ever a point. And correct us if we're wrong, because we're a little young to be saying something. I'm a little young,
at least about this song. Yeah.
To be making this claim, I'm a little young, but I would imagine that this song never had a moment where it's like, oh, this song's not cool. This song's lame. This is so 1993, I don't feel, because the reason why I feel confident saying that is because Maps didn't have a moment like that. It wasn't like 7 years later after Maps came out and it was like, oh, this is lame. It's like, nah, this song's still ripped just as hard, just as good.
There are plenty of songs that I adored when they came out and you hear me like, this song's dated now.
Yeah.
Once you get about 7 or 8 years removed from something, you're just like, oh, that's definitely a then song, you know what I mean? And then there's other music that's just like, that's a forever song. There's forever songs and then there's then songs. And it doesn't make then songs bad. If you love those songs, that's totally fine. It's just there are certain songs that connect to people on, gosh, I don't even know, a molecular level that you just can't deny its greatness.
It's that alchemy, Joe.
Yeah, it's that musical alchemy.
Sweet alchemy.
And that's Creep right here.
Yeah.
Creep is that song.
I wonder if there's something to the lyrics as well. It's just so raw,
Yeah. I'm a creep.
Like it's
I'm a weirdo.
Like, yeah, it's just like those inner thoughts of just like thinking you're not worthy enough or just thinking like you don't belong, and there's a lot of people who pretend that they don't have these thoughts, but there are moments in everyone's life where you're like, shit, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the wrong place. Whether that's something that's true and you need to make a change, or if it's all in your head and you're just paranoid.
Sometimes you just sometimes you just feel unhappy and or you feel down, and that can even come in. It's like, what is like, I don't know, like I could go and do something like that, and maybe I'd be happier if I was doing that or something. Like, I hate my job. Like, why am I even, like, what am I even doing? What's the point of this?
And it's not, I mean, all those points, but then like, the lyrics are so well crafted because he hits down on so many other things. Like, I want a perfect body. I want like the aim of perfection. like the yearning to be like this perfect specimen, like have no flaws, even though you know it's impossible.
Yeah.
And then also just like the misery of comparison, just like you float like an angel, you're so fucking special, like, and then just say,
But I'm a creep.
But I'm a creep. You know, it's just like you want. We can sometimes like romanticize and idolize people and believe that they are completely unflawed, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, you're so perfect. Like, you're an angel. I'm nothing.
Well, and then we're always just in that cycle of just like, I need, like, if, just only if. But what's so funny about that if is for almost every person, that if is just, yeah, but what about? You know, say if I just had, if I just had a six pack, if I just had bigger shoulders, or if I had
$1 million,
if I had more money, if I had a better looking face, or if I had bigger boobs or something, like all these
if I
ifs.
just had that person as my girlfriend or boyfriend.
If I had that partner, like look how attractive they are. If I had that,
that would solve all my problems.
if I got this new thing, if I got that new car, if I got that promotion, if.
If only I had a couple drinks, I'd feel better.
And all of those things are just, but what about?
Yeah.
What about the person that you're with right now?
Yeah.
Do you remember thinking that before? And now that you have it, all of a sudden, if I just had the other thing though.
Mm-hmm.
There's always gonna be an if. But there always is a what about.
Yeah, but
what about the things that you did have? What about when you did get those things? And then the thing to remember is, but those didn't make me happy. It's like, what makes you think this one is going to?
Yeah, it's the hopeless pursuit of gratification from external stimuli, from external validations.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's got to be part of why this song lives on so prominently, because these lyrics are just they're so accessible.
Yeah.
They're so raw, like you don't have to think about it. Like, I get it. I got the message.
Well,
but once you start,
I would say
leaning
there's
into
there's certain levels to the message. Yeah.
there is levels. Yeah. But like, it's pretty blatant, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just so well done.
Well, one thing
And
that
it's not cheesy.
No.
You know?
Well, and the one thing that it starts off is that him just saying, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, there's like that immediate like, oh, me too. Like I now you connect with the song. But then as you listen to it more, it's like, yeah, but you're not but the further point is, you're not a creep. You're not a weirdo. You're not crazy. You do belong here, because this is all just kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
You just need to start reaching out and accepting what is, and moving in a more positive direction, and appreciating what you have, as opposed to constantly comparing yourself or looking for something that will hopefully fix your problem.
Yeah. I mean, the extra trippy part is like saying that someone is so special. They're special from your perspective, in your mind. Like, you are the one placing that specialness on them.
That's
that
right.
only exists within you. So you can do the same thing to yourself, and they might not feel special at all. They probably don't.
Remember, we're all
like all these people that you adore and love probably don't feel as awesome as you truly believe they are, you know?
We're all creeps, we're all weirdos, and we're all special.
And we all belong.
And well, the one thing that I always try to remind everyone is, Beyonce got cheated on.
Hey.
Let's just remember that. If you ever start feeling down, or you ever feel like you feel like if you could be something bigger, if you were just someone better, Beyonce still got cheated on.
And that's Beyonce we're talking about.
And that's Beyonce.
No one's exempt.
One of the most successful and icons of beauty in the world over the past 20 years or so. She was cheated on. She wasn't enough, apparently. She was a weirdo.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
That's it's everyone.
It says more about the man than it does her. But
absolutely.
I think your point has
the point is, it doesn't matter who you are. You can always feel like the creep. You can always feel like the weirdo. You can always feel like you don't belong. Or unworthy.
All right. Wow. Thank you to Vic. See y'all in my favorite part of the night.